authors have to take risks, and the best authors are going to take incredible risks. We can't play it safe in the arts. We never can do that. We always have to push ourselves. We have to go, when we're writing, we have to go where the pain is, and we have to go where the pleasure is. And we have to push ourselves, push our own knowledge of psychology, our own spirituality, our own craft. We have to constantly push the envelope. And it's an interesting thing that sometimes people don't, who read our books, they don't have any idea where we've really pushed the most. They don't see it. And maybe that's part of our achievement, that we make it appear seamless, and they don't know quite where we've really pushed it. I'm not sure. I sometimes think the art of the novel is making people overlook the fact that you write a lot of absurd and crazy things in that novel. And if you can make them forget that and just stay with your story and your characters, well, you're doing okay. You asked me what was the biggest risk. It's hard to answer. I wanted to say to write from the point of view of Jesus Christ was the biggest risk I ever took. But I felt there were really solid reasons to do that, that first-person narrative really had a tradition behind it in hymns and prayers and motion picture screenplays, and that it wasn't that outrageous, and that I could move closer to that figure of Jesus as I understood him by writing in the first person. I could get a level of realism that was almost a detective novel type of level of realism, the kind of thing you'd get with Raymond Chandler and Philip Marlowe if I wrote about Jesus in the first person. And I think it worked. It outraged a lot of people. It infuriated them, outraged them. Some people just won't have anything to do with any book about Jesus in the first person. But those same people will go to a movie like The Passion of the Christ, and they will listen to lines in a script read by a person who is playing Jesus. So I don't really see the difference. But though I think that's the biggest risk I ever took. Certainly it was risky over 30 years ago to write a book with the title Interview with a Vampire. You know, I mean, it was an outrageous, ridiculous thing to do. I mean, it was absurd. And I took that risk, and to tell the truth, Interview with the Vampire in hardcover was a complete flop. It was shipped by the bookseller, and it didn't move out of the stores. It didn't sell anything nothing happened with it. And it was only in paperback that it really took off and then sort of became an underground kind of runaway bestseller. But it took years for that book to be accepted. But I can't regret these risks. This is really the only way I know how to operate as a writer. And I'm always trying to write scenes and getting almost like a stage fright. You know, before I start to write, thinking, I can't do this, I can't, why not eat some ice cream? Or why not, you know, maybe I should watch Amadeus again, you know, and see how Mozart handled risk, or, you know, things like this. But the truth is, you have to keep pushing yourself, and you have to keep doing it. But those are certainly the two biggest risks I ever took.